Right, so it's been a beautiful day today, and so we've made the most of it. Dry, a little bit chilly, but dry. So we've made the most of it by trying to continue with stripping down the boat. Jobs today include, we actually managed to get the thwart out, or the capping around the keel housing, which definitely was a bit of a pig. I don't think it had ever been out before. We managed to get it out, but we ended up using, in effect, this slid under the seat to try to cut away at the mastic, because underneath there were some big blobs of mastic that were completely stuck on, and therefore we couldn't get to it without trying to cut at them first. And then we had to do that on the centreboard case and on the other side. So the real pig actually took us a lot longer than we thought it might do, but we got there. Now what was interesting is under here there's a couple of screws, so this bit of the deck is screwed into the tank. Sorry, I'm not doing that very well, but it's screwed into the tank. So we weren't aware of that when we first started, so that was something new. I expected it to just be glassed on. Other jobs today were we stripped out some what was just this kind of wooden box that was there, which unfortunately had rotted through at the bottom. Could have really just done with a drain hole in the bottom of it, because it was actually quite a nice piece of mahogany and had been fitted probably for a long time, but someone had fitted some electrical switches on here in the past, presumably for nav lights, possibly for the auto build pump or something to go through, but I think it was just lights that were sat in there. So we managed to strip that out, and then the bigger jobs, you can see the results of which are here, which were the keel bands. Now some of these bolts were completely welded in place, whilst others would move with some encouragement. That one's probably primarily moving because we ended up having to be fairly rough with it to get it off. However, we had three different sections on the hull of the boat. So the first section was here at the bow. Now what we think had actually happened is they had just put the keel band with some bolts through and into the bow. When we look into the bow, if we look in any detail, I don't know whether you'll be able to see quite, but effectively there were no nuts on those bolts, just glassed into the hull. The second section was around the keel band, around the